Spiritual growth is a journey that transcends ordinary perceptions of self, encouraging individuals to reach beyond the ego and into a state of higher awareness. This path isn't just about becoming a better person in the conventional sense. It's a transformative experience that reshapes our inner reality. Through spiritual practices, we start peeling back layers, revealing a deeper, more connected self. But to truly commit to this journey, we often need to make significant sacrifices and adopt practices that enhance our mental and spiritual resilience. Semen retention is one such practice that can serve as a catalyst for spiritual growth. The concept goes beyond mere abstinence. It channels our life force energy or vital essence, which is often linked to our creative, mental, and spiritual capacities. This life force, when intentionally retained, becomes a reservoir of energy that can fuel our inner journey. It is a subtle process that requires discipline and focus, yet it holds the potential to elevate one's consciousness. The beauty of semen retention lies in its ability to create a sense of energetic balance. Instead of depleting our energy, we cultivate it, letting it flow within us. For many, this experience opens the door to heightened awareness, where the mind becomes sharper, emotions are more controlled, and the spirit feels aligned. It is a pathway toward self-mastery, allowing us to grow spiritually by focusing on self-restraint and intentional living. Semen retention as a path to self-realization. Self-realization, or understanding one's true essence, is at the heart of spiritual growth. Our energy, if not properly harnessed, often scatters into various distractions or fleeting desires, leading to a fragmented state of mind. Semen retention helps reverse this process by focusing the mind and curbing impulsive tendencies. This practice creates a state of presence, bringing awareness back to the moment and aligning it with one's higher self. When we retain our life force, we are able to conserve mental and physical energy. In Eastern philosophies, this is often referred to as oshas in Ayurveda or qi in Chinese medicine. Essentially, the vital energy that sustains life. Retention allows this energy to rise from the lower chakras, or energy centers, to the higher ones, helping us reach elevated states of consciousness. This movement from the physical to the spiritual is the essence of self-realization, where we transcend bodily urges and delve into our innermost nature. By practicing semen retention, we're essentially engaging in a form of inner alchemy. We transmute our primal energies into mental clarity, focus, and wisdom. As our self-awareness grows, we begin to see ourselves as more than just physical beings with material desires. Instead, we perceive ourselves as spiritual entities with immense potential. This expanded view helps us recognize and embrace our true nature, aligning with the spiritual growth we seek. Elevating consciousness and heightened awareness. Through semen retention, practitioners often experience a marked shift in consciousness. This shift is not a fleeting moment of clarity, but an ongoing elevation of awareness. The mind becomes more sensitive to inner workings and subtle energies, enabling a deeper connection with one's surroundings and self. This heightened awareness is a key element of spiritual growth, as it allows us to navigate life with a profound sense of purpose and clarity. A heightened state of consciousness is not merely a mystical concept, it's a practical, everyday tool that enhances our life experience. With sustained energy, thoughts become less clouded by distractions or emotional impulses, leading to more deliberate actions and mindful decisions. This is where semen retention becomes transformative. It grounds us, allowing thoughts and emotions to flow naturally without overwhelming us. In this grounded state, our mental clarity sharpens, and our perception of reality expands. This expanded awareness often brings with it a deeper sense of empathy and compassion, not just for others but for oneself as well. Spiritual growth involves confronting one's flaws, traumas, and insecurities. Through semen retention, we develop the inner strength to face these elements of ourselves and ultimately to heal and grow. This conscious growth is not linear, it's cyclical, each layer peeling back to reveal a deeper truth about our existence. Cultivating inner discipline. Through semen retention. Discipline is an essential component of spiritual growth, and semen retention serves as a rigorous practice of self-control. In a world that constantly encourages instant gratification, this practice requires a conscious rejection of immediate pleasures for long-term growth. It is a commitment that strengthens willpower, one of the most powerful tools in our spiritual arsenal. Through restraint, we foster discipline, which is the bedrock of any spiritual journey. Practicing semen retention builds what could be called inner discipline. This form of discipline is not imposed from the outside, but cultivated within, where one's mind learns to transcend impulses and desires. By controlling this primal energy, we teach ourselves the art of mastery over one's senses and desires. With time, this mastery becomes second nature, allowing us to direct our energy toward pursuits that genuinely align with our highest self. This self-discipline ripples into other areas of life, reinforcing the spiritual growth process. When we can master our desires in one area, it becomes easier to manage them in other areas. Whether it's diet, exercise, or any other lifestyle habit, the discipline honed through semen retention helps create a balanced, fulfilling life. This alignment of the physical, mental, and spiritual ultimately brings harmony, allowing spiritual growth to flourish. Channeling sexual energy into creative and spiritual pursuits. Sexual energy is a potent force within us, and when harnessed correctly, it can fuel creative and spiritual endeavors. Semen retention is a way to consciously redirect this energy away from physical release and toward a higher purpose. This practice is known as sexual transmutation, where primal energy is used as a creative force for self-development. Many historical and spiritual figures have harnessed this energy to produce remarkable works and profound insights. The ability to channel sexual energy into creative pursuits is empowering. Instead of losing energy through physical release, we internalize it, allowing it to flow into higher pursuits. This approach can lead to an increase in creativity, as the mind becomes sharper and more attuned to original thought. For artists, thinkers, and anyone engaged in spiritual practices, this energy becomes a wellspring of inspiration and a tool for expressing one's inner self. On the spiritual plane, transmuting sexual energy reinforces our connection to something greater than ourselves. Many traditions believe that sexual energy, when conserved and refined, aligns with divine energy. By channeling this energy into spiritual practice, meditation, or other creative activities, we're able to transcend the physical and experience a connection with higher consciousness. This form of spiritual growth is transformative, turning ordinary energy into a bridge to the divine. Overcoming ego and embracing humility. One of the core challenges of spiritual growth is overcoming the ego. The ego often seeks validation and gratification, which can hinder spiritual development. Semen retention naturally counters this tendency by teaching restraint and humility. As we learn to overcome physical urges, we also quiet the ego's constant demands. This humility becomes an essential step in the path toward selflessness and spiritual awareness. By transcending ego-driven desires, we are no longer controlled by the need for validation or material gain. Instead, semen retention enables us to cultivate an inward focus, where we seek fulfillment from within, rather than from external sources. This inward focus is essential for spiritual growth, as it shifts our perspective from worldly gains to inner peace and contentment. Through humility, we open ourselves to wisdom and compassion. When we are not dominated by the ego, we allow our higher self to emerge, one that is aligned with love, empathy, and respect for others. This alignment helps us connect with others on a deeper level, fostering a sense of unity. The ego's demands diminish, and in its place, a more authentic, spiritually grounded self begins to flourish. Fostering resilience and patience on the spiritual path. The path to spiritual growth is not without its challenges. Resilience and patience are necessary qualities, and semen retention is a practice that fosters both. As we face urges and desires, we learn to withstand them, developing resilience. This resilience extends to other areas of life, where we can better face challenges, setbacks, and distractions without losing focus on our spiritual goals. With each day of retention, the journey becomes more profound. Patience is cultivated as we realize that spiritual growth doesn't happen overnight. This practice teaches us to value gradual progress, understanding that true growth requires time and consistent effort. By retaining our energy, we invest in long-term gains rather than short-term gratification, a powerful lesson that echoes throughout our spiritual journey. Resilience and patience, when developed together, create a strong foundation for spiritual growth. These qualities act as pillars, supporting us as we face life's inevitable ups and downs. With this inner strength, we're better equipped to handle adversities, stay grounded in our spiritual practice, and continue progressing on the path toward enlightenment and inner peace, aligning with the higher self. Through energy mastery, semen retention, when practiced with a focus on spiritual growth, is a journey of energy mastery. It encourages us to take control of our inner energies, transforming them from raw impulses to refined spiritual power. This mastery requires understanding the relationship between body, mind, and spirit, recognizing that our physical energy is deeply intertwined with our mental and spiritual states. Through consistent practice, we learn to elevate this energy to connect more directly with our higher self. Our higher self is the part of us that exists beyond ego-driven desires and mundane concerns, seeking alignment with universal consciousness. By retaining our energy, we create a stable foundation for connecting with this higher self. As the physical energy rises, it nourishes our higher energy centers, leading to greater intuition, insight, and spiritual awareness. We begin to see ourselves not as fragmented beings but as interconnected, spiritually aligned with the world around us. This alignment fosters a deep sense of peace and fulfillment, where we no longer seek external validation or quick pleasures to feel whole. Instead, we find satisfaction in our inner journey, knowing that we are on a path toward self-realization. Mastering our energy in this way leads us to a state of spiritual contentment, where we can better understand our purpose and place within the grander scheme of existence. Transforming relationships through inner harmony. Another profound impact of semen retention is how it transforms our relationships. As we cultivate inner peace and strength, we naturally bring a more balanced self into our interactions with others. We become less reactive, more understanding, and more capable of deep, meaningful connections. This shift allows us to engage with others from a place of wholeness, where we seek to uplift rather than satisfy shallow needs or desires. In relationships, retention helps reduce attachment and neediness, both of which can create imbalance. By relying less on others for emotional validation, we gain the freedom to relate authentically. This internal harmony draws others to us, often leading to more harmonious and fulfilling relationships. People sense the calm, centered energy we radiate, and this positive energy enhances the quality of our connections. Moreover, semen retention can help cultivate a more compassionate approach to love and companionship, emphasizing respect and shared growth. Our connections become an extension of our spiritual journey, where each relationship is an opportunity to practice empathy, patience, and understanding. In this way, retention not only fuels personal growth, but enhances our relationships, making them richer and more aligned with our highest selves. A new perspective on life and purpose. When practicing semen retention with spiritual intent, we gain a fresh perspective on life and purpose. This practice teaches us that life's purpose extends beyond material success or fleeting pleasures. As our consciousness evolves, we start seeing life as a journey of inner discovery and spiritual realization. Retention allows us to approach life with a renewed sense of purpose, focusing on our growth rather than external achievements. This shift in perspective fosters a deeper appreciation for life itself. We learn to cherish the subtler moments of joy and fulfillment that arise from within, rather than from external sources. Retention enhances our gratitude, as we become aware of the energy within us and its role in creating a meaningful life. Each day becomes an opportunity to refine ourselves, to serve a purpose beyond the self, and to contribute positively to the world. Ultimately, this practice of semen retention guides us toward a life of intentionality and clarity. It encourages us to live with integrity, compassion, and purpose, recognizing that our spiritual journey is intertwined with how we interact with the world. In seeking spiritual growth through this practice, we align ourselves with the greater flow of life, realizing that every moment holds the potential for self-discovery and spiritual advancement. Awakening intuition and inner wisdom. One of the less visible yet profoundly impactful benefits of semen retention is the awakening of intuition. As we cultivate and conserve our life force energy, the mind begins to quieten, creating space for subtle insights and intuitive guidance. This clarity allows us to tune into our inner wisdom, that voice within which often gets drowned out by daily distractions and desires. Intuition is the bridge between the conscious mind and the deeper, often hidden layers of consciousness, and semen retention strengthens this connection. When we are not dominated by fleeting urges, our awareness turns inward, allowing us to notice subtler signals from our intuition. Over time, we learn to trust this inner guidance, relying on it to make decisions that resonate with our true self. The energy conserved through retention creates a natural pathway to the higher mind, where intuition thrives. This heightened sense of knowing can guide us in navigating complex situations, making decisions, and understanding our deeper purpose in life. This newly awakened intuition is invaluable on the path of spiritual growth. It not only helps us make choices that align with our higher purpose, but also enhances our connection to the spiritual dimension. Intuition becomes a compass, guiding us toward experiences and relationships that support our evolution. By nurturing this connection, we gain a more direct link to the divine, accessing insights and wisdom that elevate us on our spiritual journey. The role of meditation and mindfulness in retention. Meditation and mindfulness are powerful tools that complement semen retention, enriching its benefits and facilitating spiritual growth. By integrating these practices, we amplify our ability to conserve and channel energy intentionally. Meditation strengthens our mind's control over our impulses, creating a buffer between desire and action. This mental space empowers us to redirect our energy, focusing it on spiritual and personal development rather than immediate gratification. In a state of mindfulness, we become more aware of how our energy is spent and where our attention flows. This awareness extends to our thoughts, emotions, and even subtle bodily sensations. Through meditation, we can direct the energy accumulated from semen retention toward inner peace, clarity, and connection with the higher self. Regular meditation also supports the upward movement of this energy, aligning with the chakras or energy centers, enabling spiritual awakening and self-realization. The combination of semen retention and meditation has a synergistic effect, deepening both practices. With a clear mind and stable energy, meditation becomes more profound, allowing us to access deeper states of consciousness. This is where spiritual growth accelerates, as we become less identified with the ego and more in tune with universal consciousness. In this space, we experience a sense of unity with all of existence, an essential milestone on any spiritual path. Embracing spiritual resilience and the journey ahead. The journey of semen retention and spiritual growth is not without its challenges. Just as with any path of self-discovery, it requires resilience to overcome doubts, setbacks, and moments of vulnerability. This resilience is a vital aspect of spiritual growth, one that strengthens our commitment to the path. Semen retention, when pursued with dedication, teaches us the value of persistence, patience, and faith in our own potential to evolve. Resilience in this context is about facing and embracing discomfort, seeing it as a part of the journey rather than an obstacle. The urges that arise are opportunities to strengthen our willpower, to reaffirm our commitment to spiritual growth. This practice builds an unshakable inner strength that prepares us for other challenges on our path, giving us the courage to confront and release limiting beliefs and fears that may arise. Looking ahead, we recognize that spiritual growth is an ongoing process. Each day of retention, each meditation session, and each mindful moment builds upon the last, creating a gradual and lasting transformation. As we continue along this journey, we deepen our connection to the divine within and expand our understanding of ourselves and the universe. With resilience and an open heart, semen retention becomes a sacred practice, guiding us ever closer to our highest potential and deepest spiritual fulfillment. The path of spiritual growth. Through semen retention. Semen retention is more than a physical practice. It is a doorway to deeper self-awareness, discipline, and spiritual transformation. By conserving and transmuting our life force energy, we create the conditions for true spiritual growth. This journey requires commitment and resilience, but the rewards, heightened awareness, emotional balance, and inner peace, are profound and transformative. In today's world, where distractions and instant gratification often dominate, semen retention stands as a powerful counterbalance, fostering inner strength and clarity. This practice encourages a life of intentional decisions, discipline, and self-control, ultimately leading us toward a higher state of consciousness and deeper connection with our spiritual self. As we integrate semen retention into our lives, we embark on a journey not only of personal empowerment, but of spiritual awakening, unlocking the potential to live in alignment with our highest purpose.